Are there any innovations that you see coming down the pipeline that we may not be aware of, or things that are kind of starting to make their way into the industry that you think will be beneficial? I know like exosomes are really popular right now, peptides, things like
Yes,
that.
yes. Okay. So the first thing is, so I have an incredible team, um, and we read a lot. We look at the data, and we're constantly exploring. And I'm seeing and listening to the patients in my practice, and I'm also looking at what's published. Um, my first response, and everyone knows this, is show me the data, right? Let's see what the research shows. You can't go wrong with creating products that have really good clinical studies. So I think that there's some exciting things. I do think that there's a difference between, as I mentioned, delivery and actual ingredients, right? So we have this category of product called derm infusions, and there's a new one that's this, it's a blur cream that people are seeing being launched now. It's a matte finish moisturizer that still hydrates your skin, which has been that you've sacrificed hydration for that matte finish, which I never loved, and it took us years to get the right formula, and we did. But it's the delivery of ingredients that matters too, right? And you've heard this term delivery systems, right? That is really like what's under the hood of a car. You see the beautiful car, I want this, it drives beautifully, but what's going on is really, it's important to understand that how you create the formula is also super important. And there's a lot of technology and innovation that the derm infusions category, for example, has really tapped into hyaluronic acid, you know? Um, so I think that one of the most important things with that product line for me is, what about people who don't want fillers? What about, and hyaluronic acid's what's used in fillers, right? Or what about people who would love to get fillers a little less often, or who've had fillers a couple months ago who want to top it off and keep it fresh looking? So I'm seeing this place in skincare that is overlapping with in-office treatments to accentuate them or slow the need down or replace them altogether. Not everyone wants injections. So so taking the same ingredient and putting in a skincare product is one big new dimension that I'm loving. Um, Another example, and I think that you ask peel every day, you know, peels, when you change the pH from step 1 to step 2 in the alpha beta peel, there's a real scientific event that's going on that has a profound effect, which is why peels have been done by dermatologists literally for decades. But now we're also finding that retinol in the form of like a peel, when used as a booster to the alpha beta hydroxy peels, there's this thing called synergy, right? And that's a really important concept that I think is the next step too. And what is synergy? Synergy is when you use two different products and 1 plus 1 equals 3, right? There's an acceleration of effect that comes from the combination of different kinds of ingredients and products. And so we have this I've found, and now we're touting it and getting great results by using a retinol boosting perfectly dosed pad twice a week mixed in with the alpha beta peel. And the skin loves that because you're getting different effects. We talk about receptors and all that stuff, different receptors, different mechanisms. And when it all comes together, you start to see results that you would otherwise go to a practice or a treatment center to get, and you don't really need to as much or at all anymore. People want that. It's my job to deliver the best possible results using the most cutting edge innovations that we can put together and still be safe for all skin types, and to do that for people. So that's just another example. And then you add things like LED, et cetera.
Amazing. Well, I think that I can rely on you for all of my my no Botox alternatives, because I mean that's exactly what I know myself and so many people are looking for. These alternatives to in practice treatments, either to space them out or be able to transition away from doing them and still have, great looking skin and slow down that aging process.
Totally. Complexion too, you know? If I had to say, like, another thing that really does need everyday attention is any complexion problem, you know? And that is something that, people can't come in as often to get a professional treatment when they're breaking out. And I'm not talking about full-blown acne necessarily, like, where you would have to be the word acne, I think, talk about language. There are people who hear the word acne and say, "Oh, but I don't need Accutane," you know? Well, that's not you're right. But any blemish concern, I think, really needs, to have attention daily. And there, by the way, I mean, back to what we do in our shop is we create skincare products, understanding that as common as acne is, it is a complicated disorder, a complicated condition. And it's not just about like that pore that sits on top. It's all about the inflammation and the bacteria and then the redness and the elevate. Some people just they get these bumpy breakouts and they want things to put on there fast to bring it down. Talk about photos, that's heartbreaking when you see yourself in a photo and you couldn't cover it up with makeup. So we're attentive to complexion problems, and there the technology in our formulas really it's not just like it takes literally 12 ingredients, I think, what we put in the products to treat and prevent breakouts. Because the breakout you see today actually started 2 weeks ago, which means that what you're destined to get in 2 weeks is percolating under the skin right now invisibly. So the idea is to get ahead of it, So spot treatment, good for the bad ones, but solutions done daily is the way to really get ahead of it and then use different ingredients for the different components of breakouts is also really important. I'm thinking that's another big frontier that we crossed.